You had to be like the Hulk to make him squeak, though.
I could barely do it.
Yeah.
With my human-sized hands.
Human?
Yeah. Hello.
Hello!
And welcome to Adulting Midwest Style. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Alicia. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Whoop, whoop. Finally. Week's done.
Yes. Today we are going to be talking about our top 10, or I guess our least 10 worst Amazon purchases that we've ever purchased.
Ever.
So these will not be linked down in the description.
Nope. Nope. But we can put a picture of them right here so that you can like reference what we're talking about so you don't make the mistake. But I ain't linking those for you guys.
Yeah. So we got for beers, I have the Kentucky Coffee Barrel Cream Ale.
It's very dull colors. It's like dull yellow and dull blue.
But it's very, very dark beer.
Yeah. I think I...
No, you don't need that.
No, I don't need that.
Toby.
I have the Fava COVID tonight.
Because...
it's a can. And so we'll do a little ASMR for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yum.
Good stuff.
Cheers.
Happy Friday. Cheers. All right. Yeah, good stuff. Fuck COVID. All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we are going to be talking about... These are not like the past year. These have been since we've started purchasing from Amazon, which was actually kind of later. It was almost like 2017 is when we really started. Yeah, that's
probably when we got like Prime account. Because like when we got it together, this is kind of when that started. When we bought a house and everything, we kind of then got addicted to Amazon. Before that, we did like books for school and stuff, but I didn't really shop Amazon like super religiously like I did after I got a house and everything. So probably about 2016, 2015.
And now it's just a staple in everybody's life.
Yes. We get an Amazon package at least once a week, it feels like. So, yeah. What's our first one?
So we bought this watering can.
Yes.
Right here. And... we bought it on the premise that, our plants are dying. We should be able to water them. So let's just buy a quick watering can.
Yeah, we are chronic plant murderers. And by plants, we are chronic succulent murderers.
Yeah,
if that's possible. So, yeah, we wanted to get a watering can.
And we found one for like $4. And we're like, we didn't even think twice about it.
Nope.
This thing is like... Well,
it's like for baby plants. Like it could hold maybe
a swig of water.
It was the dumbest purchase we ever made, and so of course I didn't think.
Yeah, we didn't think to like look at like how many fluid ounces can it hold.
No, we were noobs to the Amazon world.
But so we bought it and we got it, and we should have just returned it. But we're like,
But at that time when we got this, it wasn't easy to return to Amazon like it is now. Like you can just go to your local Kohl's now and do it. So we use it as decor. Yep, it is a little tchotchke in the house. Excuse you.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the next one, or do you need a beer break?
I do need a beer break, but it is Theo's Bubble Machine.
Now, we might have mentioned it in his, 1 year kind of wrap-up birthday episode. We'll link it above Aaron's head. We mentioned it because we got it. We were so excited about it.
The kid loves bubbles. Like, we were just, dipping it and blowing it with our mouths, and we're like, we'll get a bubble machine. Perfect.
Yeah, do it for us.
So we found this dog bubble machine. It was, the top ranked one on Amazon.
It was 10 inches tall.
It was $10.
Yeah, it wasn't expensive by any means.
It was not 10 inches tall. It was maybe 6. It is not very big.
Okay.
And you fill the mouth forward, like as if he was taking a chug of beer. And don't overflow it because there's no fill line. It's just don't overfill it.
Yep.
We did that a few times.
try almost every time. And by the time, like, we figured out, like, okay, like, you literally can't fill it very full. And, like, it just, the bubbles would, like, overflow into itself. So, like, they weren't blowing anymore. And then the other problem was if they were blowing, it only go for, like, because you couldn't put a lot of bubbles in it. So it only go for, like,
It was loud.
a few
too.
minutes. It was super loud. Yeah.
Now, most bubble machines have sound to them. Like, they're not going to be
They got a hum.
silent.
They
They have
gotta
to.
hum.
They have to blow the air.
Yeah.
Even the one that we have now that we got from Target that is cheaper and like can shoot them across the room.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
yeah, dude. Yeah, the dog one just was kind of a bust. It wasn't. I'm a little disappointed because it's so much cuter. Like, it's a dog. Like, it's way cuter than the one we got. But it was definitely
practically speaking, it wasn't as good.
No, it definitely made a mess. Yeah, it was just not great. On the same kind of wavelength of Theo toys, we got like this set of 10 like cloth books. Because my thought was when he was little, those would be good because he can chew on them. He can try to rip them. Like, he can't break them.
You can't break them. If they get wet, who cares? They'll dry.
And that functionality was fine. The actual books, like what they contained, was straight dumb.
Red. It was just a red square.
No, it was like the one book that really gets me is like the shapes book. It has like some of the basic shapes, but also like Eclipse was one of them. Mm-hmm. Or like, I don't know, there's like another random ass shape. I'm like, my 1-year-old does not need to know this shape. Like, where's my rectangle? It didn't even have rectangle in there. I'm like, where's the star? Where's like, it had like random shit in there.
It's not that hard to figure out.
Yeah, I'm like, I just was disappointed in the content of the books. So it wasn't like they were used. They were fine. He took them in the bath sometimes because they were like waterproof.
And he just splashed them.
And so they were fine functionality, like the fact that he could just do anything with them. But the actual contents of it was stupid. So like we packed him away already because like now he reads like the normal board books fine, and
he loves to flip the pages.
I don't need him to learn this stupid garbage in there. Like the food one had weird foods in it. I'm like, why can't we just stick with the bread and eggs? You know?
But he also really likes to flip the pages of the book, whether he even like comprehends that there's words on it or listens. It's just like flip it. Let's flip it. Let's flip it back. Let's flip it back. Well, with these things,
you can't flip them.
They're really 4 pages. They're made out of cloth, so you're really not. You're just like
he doesn't get the oomph of flipping the book. It just
so you just kind of got over them.
Yep, really fast. That's the thing. Like there's certain toys where we love them. We've recommended them multiple times because they were long lasting and practical, and these just lasted like maybe a couple months, and then he got over it, and I got over it.
They were just kind of like
chintzy a little bit. Next thing is when I kind of transitioned home and was buying some office supplies for the house because I was working from home for a while, which update, I work full-time in the office now. I don't know if I've mentioned that. I am back full-time in the office. Just side note there. But anyway, last year when I wasn't, I was full-time at home. I bought a bunch of like office supplies.
You had to buy a desk?
Yeah, we bought a desk, which is now used as like my podcast center. So that's nice. But anyway, I bought sticky notes because oftentimes when I'm on a call with a customer, I'm writing down notes, their address, whatever, because they want a book sent out, whatever. And I bought these funny ones, these sticky notes. They weren't sticky note brand. They were just like sticky notes that like had funny sayings on them, like WTF or like, I don't know, things to know. I don't know. I'll post the picture of the pack that I got. Super excited about them because they were so fun and colorful and just cool. And they are like the chintziest sticky notes I've ever had. They don't stick to anything. And like the paper is fine. I can write on it. But like the actual functionality of the sticky note part of it.
That's the whole point of a sticky note. Is so you can
take a note, but stick it to something.
You can peel it off and go right there. I'll actually look at it.
Yes. Which the functionality was not great. They weren't sticky at all. They didn't stick to shit. And
Just this goes back to our name brand versus generic.
yes.
You just got to go Post-it.
Yeah, got to go with the Post-it for sure. But yeah, really disappointed in that because they were so fun. I just was so disappointed. So that's one thing that I bought that I wanted to have for me, and it didn't work out. So,
and that's what it comes down to with Amazon. Like, I'm gonna buy these Post-it notes. Like, oh, they're only $1, and it's like,
well, yeah, and I mean they weren't $1, but anyway, they were like novelty kind of ones that you'd expect them to be like decent, and they just weren't.
We are big into reviews.
Yeah.
We can't stress that enough. Like, even the dog bubble machine is probably one of the highest rated bubble machines on Amazon.
I filter that shit. I filter, like, it has to be 4 stars and above.
Has to be prime.
I like go through all the filters until I get like the selection of things that I want, and then I look at how many people actually did rate. So anything I recommend, I'm like, it's legit. But anyway, next thing is Tommy Tippy Nooks. Now, we love Tommy Tippy other things. Like, that was his bottles. Mm-hmm. He's got cups of that. So nothing against the brand. Just their Nooks he didn't jive with. They were kind of a waste of money. And I don't know. There's really nothing else to say about that. I mean, if you're a parent, you kind of know, like, with bottles, with Nooks, with things, they either do well with it or they don't. And it's kind of like... And I just feel like the Tommy Tippy Nooks, like, didn't have, like... The ones that we have now are, like, Dr. Brown's glow-in-the-dark ones, which is nice. Because at night, if I ever had to go in there, you can kind of see them.
A little bit.
Kind of. But, yeah, so there's not much else to say about that. It just wasn't... It was kind of a waste of money for us, and we couldn't really return them because he sucked on them and stuff. So,
and it's the whole parenting thing is, I'm gonna buy these Nooks and I'm gonna see if they work better, and then even 3 months later, they might like them more.
Yeah,
like, you never know.
And that's true for, like, literally everything. Like, there's
toys,
food, toys, anything with a kid. Like, they just they like could hate something like when you give it to them, and then like a couple months later it's like their favorite food or their favorite toy.
I can't really think of one for Theo, but I know he's had like, oh, he doesn't like that toy, and then all of a sudden it's just his favorite. The cube
that we got for him, he did not want anything to do with that. He thought it was dumb, and then all of a sudden for a while he was just carrying it around every room. And now it just stays in the living room, and he still pulls it out almost every day and, you know, plays with all the different sides. But
for a children's toy, one of the worst songs, but it still occupies, you know,
he still
lots of different
lots of fine motor skill stuff on it. So, but that's not what this episode's about. This is about stuff we don't like. What's the next one?
Stacking blocks. So
we might have mentioned this one in a previous episode. Not sure.
So we bought this set of 8. They were rubber cubes. 1 through 8 had different animals on them. Were all different colors. In theory, they should have been good. They even squeaked. But
you had to be like the Hulk to make them squeak, though.
I could barely do it.
Yeah.
With my human-sized hands.
Human?
Yeah.
Man hands?
Man hands. I don't have man hands.
No, he doesn't. We have the same hand size.
Mm-hmm. But they were hard to squeeze enough to make it squeak, so good luck having an infant do it. So that means that it just comes down to looking at colors and stacking cubes. Like, there's other different ways that, like, our cups and our rings and...
Yeah, it just wasn't... Again, it kind of was, like, not a favorite toy. And to me... I wasn't, like, too thrilled after we got them. Like, the pictures on the sides of them weren't, like, the cutest looking animal. Like, because they had animals and, like, numbers, maybe letters.
Dots. It was dots, like a dice.
Oh, yeah. And it just, like, was kind of a bore. Like, yeah, they were colorful. Yeah, they, like, seemed, like, really good quality.
They did squeak if you could squeak them.
Yeah, they were good quality, though. I mean, like, they were, like, hard rubber. but it just like they weren't very cute.
They weren't
in person.
they weren't teethers.
They
like,
weren't. No, he didn't really
they're
gnaw
just-
on them or anything.
There's nothing. They're just sides.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing to actually chew on.
So like we introduced them like a few times to him, and he just like never liked them. I'm sure like other kids probably do though, because like he does like stacking things. He does like
And I bet
doing
you
stuff like that.
I bet you if we brought them out, he will
Maybe.
definitely play with them differently.
Yeah.
Whether or
But
not,
now he has like wooden blocks that he likes to stack with, or
And
he
they
plays
clack.
with our Jenga pieces too.
and they clack
Yeah.
as opposed to
Rubber just makes like no noise when you bang it together. So
Yeah.
meh. It was just kind of a like another waste of money type of toy. We didn't like,
Kind of like
it
a
wasn't cute enough for me.
It was one of those whimsical, like, he might like this. Like, why don't we try it? He did.
And like, you read all these books, like what should you introduce to your kid at such and such age? And I think it was like blocks or something. And so I researched it and bought the ones that were most highly rated. And
That is a good Google toys or best toys for blank year olds or month old. That's how we found the Dimple.
yeah, the Dimple was a good one. It's one of his teether toys. I can put a picture here. It's irrelevant to this because he loves it.
Yes.
But I'll put a picture just so you can see it. It is really nice. He loves it.
Not what it's about. It's about what he doesn't
not
like.
what it is about. But anyway, moving on. Recently, like very recently, within the last like 2 weeks, Jinx.
Dang it.
I've been really into, like, just side note for ladies who listen, I've been really into getting like graphic tees off Amazon that just say like fun things or cute images of stuff. And I got this like cool black tie-dye graphic tee that said "Be Different" on it, and like some of the letters were like facing backwards or whatever.
Be different.
Yes, to be different. And
it was also right justified.
What is that? Oh, like
on the wrong side.
Interesting. I didn't
Trying to be different.
I didn't notice that. But anyway, super excited to get it. Got it. And I guess just for lack of a term, I guess it shrunk significantly, like 2 sizes smaller than what I wanted. It ended up being like a crop top, but also like super tight, which the tightness wouldn't have bothered me if it wasn't a crop top as well.
And it wasn't a crop top. It was a t-shirt.
No, it wasn't meant to be a crop top. And I like my graphic tees like loose and, comfortable and everything. The fabric was really soft. Like I probably am going to reorder it potentially, just like 2 sizes bigger than what I probably normally
and it
would
can
buy.
be a nice flowing.
But like it didn't like have like instructions like wash on delicate or like anything like that.
We truly didn't read the reviews on that one either because maybe people
I did.
Oh,
all my graphic tees I do research on.
Well, I'm just saying that.
Speak for yourself.
Were there other people that said, "Oh, this fucker shrinks"?
No, I think it said like true to size too, which is obviously I read the reviews, so I got true to size.
We always wash things in cold, and we always dry things at the same temperature.
Yeah, so it just like easily shrunk and everything, but I like it enough that I think I'm just gonna buy it again and just get it in a bigger size and maybe just like not dry it or just maybe air dry it next time.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it a lot.
Yeah, the first couple times, and then I think you're fine.
But yeah, so it's just like be careful with the sizing of the shirt if you like it. I'll show you a picture, but it was very misleading, which is why it's on this list.
Mm-hmm. Next is the magnetic Doodle board. Now, I think we've all had these as kids. It's basically, the bench, and it has the pen that's attached, and you can doodle on it, and then you slide it back and forth, and you erase.
Yeah. I think we mostly had like the handheld one. I don't know if many people had like a tabletop one.
Well, regardless, I think people understand what we're saying now. Is, the thing that you can slide back and forth and erase it.
Right.
So we found this one on Amazon. And we thought, Theo has hand-eye coordination. He can at least scribble stuff and we can erase it and maybe he'll find it fun.
Well, yeah, he has a lot of like gross motor activity, so I was like, okay, he's at the age where maybe he might be into like kind of art creative activities.
We got him chalk. We got him,
jumbo crayons.
Yeah, and we got him this thing, and man, one,
very misleading.
Very misleading. It's very tiny.
Yes.
Number two, pretty cheap plastic.
Yes, it's so chintzy.
Number three, the two different things that come with it, a circle and like flower thing, are easily chokeable.
Which might have been our fault. We may not have like it. The age range might have been a little older than Theo, so that might be our fault on that one.
But still, just like they're like really tiny hockey pucks.
Yeah, I mean, we took those away. We like hid those right away after he like repeatedly tried to put them in his mouth. So.
And I don't know if you've noticed this, but if you draw something on there and you leave it for like a day or a week, and you try to erase it, it probably won't right away.
Oh. No, I haven't.
It takes like
it's
10 swipes.
Such a chintzy thing, which is disappointing because again, we like always filter out and like go off of like the reviews and everything. And so I was like, oh, that sucks. Because I took it out. I was like, well, that's significantly smaller than what I thought it was going to be.
It's maybe this big. I mean, it's like size.
And like the legs, like I could snap them off. Like it's terrible plastic.
It's probably the size of a tablet.
Yeah. Yeah. Which again, it wouldn't be bad, I guess, if it was like he can carry it around. So maybe eventually we'll just like put the legs in and just like have him carry it around. But it really just is not like quality at all. So I was a little disappointed in that. But
yeah.
And then the next thing we got is before we got our wax kit, we first started with like an epilator.
Yeah.
That shit hurt like an SOB, let me tell you. Where I hate, I mean, any woman can agree, I hate shaving, like 100%. So like I started looking into different things like epilators, and like now I just wax with the wax kit we posted, I think, in our maybe last episode, actually. Our last Final Call Friday episode.
Yeah.
But it just hurt like an ass. I didn't do it more than once. Like, I hardly used it. You used it, I think, on your mustache. No?
No, I used it on my belly. And the thing about your belly is that it's also super sensitive, or like it's very painful.
Just painful.
So, yeah.
I don't think either one of us used it more than a few times. So
it is basically, if you don't know, an epilator is an automatic tweezer
that pulls out more than just one hair at a time.
Well, it spins really fast, and it's like safe to the touch, and then it'll like grab a hair and basically yank it out. The thing is that it doesn't always yank it out. Sometimes it just kind of pulls it. Mm-hmm. So you'll be like, ow, 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 and then nothing will happen.
Yeah. So that was kind of a interesting find. Excited to use, but crazy painful. Way worse than just like having just waxing your legs.
Also, out of all these, like we spent like $4 or $5, maybe 10.
I think the epilator was about 40.
30.
Oh, 30.
Yeah. And that was a cheap one. And that was probably our issue.
Potentially, yeah. I just feel like our wax kit, like that doesn't.
That was also $30.
It just like takes care of the job, and it's like stings for like a second.
That's the other thing too. Like it was basically the pain of waxing, but without the satisfying.
Yeah. Well, not only just the pain of waxing, but like you had to go over it multiple, like repeated over and over and over and over again. Pain. Like with waxing, it just whoop, and then it's done. But
the last one is yours.
Last thing is another me thing that I bought. I bought a e.l.f. eyeshadow palette that I thought I'm very neutral. I like to do like neutral tone eyeshadow when I go to work. And
me too.
I was just disappointed with like the colors, like in person. The actual eyeshadow palette, like it broke. It was broken when I got it, which isn't necessarily the product's fault. It just shipping and stuff. So one of my colors was already like shattering. And then they weren't like very pigmented, I should say. They were very like too shimmery almost, like too glittery. And I am not a glittery person. Like I like a little shimmer, but they didn't have color. It was just like looked like I had like glitter on my eyeballs. So kind of disappointed on that one. And that's like really all I have to say about that, because it just like the pigment wasn't there and it was broken. So I was already upset about it. So
and then it just kind of ended up,
it's just kind of a fail on that one. I like my NYX palettes, if you will. But
what are your Amazon fails?
yes, comment below your Amazon fails, and then while you're at it, comment any content ideas, beer selection, any more cues. We are doing a Q&A episode within the next week or two.
Yeah, we'll try to hammer one out.
We'll see if we get a couple more cues, then we'll do it probably right away on Monday. If not, then it'll be the following Monday.
We keep saying this, but we've been suggested beer selection that is just really hard to find. And
yes, we do see your comments about it. We're just looking for them. So we hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by on this Final Call Friday. And have a great weekend, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers. Last weekend in March, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.